Okay, so now that we have some skin smoothed out, I want to bring back a little bit of the detail that we might have lost in doing so. So here is the before and after. And I don't want to lose some of that precious skin texture. So I'm going to perform this directly on top of this layer here, or I'll just copy that layer by hitting Control J, and now I have a duplicate copy of the skin smoothing. And I'm gonna go up to Filter, Other, High Pass. Okay, so 1.2 radius actually is probably gonna be about perfect. I'll do 1.4. Click OK. I'm gonna turn this into soft light and see if that helps bring a little bit of texture back. It does a little bit. You know what? Let's go ahead and do hard light. Then that should be even more texture back. And the cool thing is we should only be adding the sharpening to the layer that smooths the skin. So none of the sharpening is going to touch anything that wasn't smoothed out originally. So I think that's a nice little added bonus to just copying this layer and adding sharpening to it. Okay, so there we are with the skin sharpening, and after the smoothing, I think it's looking pretty good there. Sometimes I will like to come in and add a little extra dodge and burn to the areas of contrast that got smoothed out, because if you can see, you lose a little bit of definition in the face. Some of the lines go away even more, sometimes more than you might want them to. So just a added side note there. Okay, so we're gonna merge these all together. Now this is a fun little trick I like to do. I'm gonna go into Filter, Nike Software, and Silver Effx Pro. I really love this program for creating some black and whites. And again, I'm not going to go into this too much, but here is a preset that I have, and you can see the added contrast that creates. I'm also going to turn on those color filters, and I'm going to find the filter that shows me the most contrast, I think, in the dress and in the face. And that, to me, appears to be this blue filter. So I'm going to add a blue filter. Click OK. So now we've just got a ton of contrast we added. I'm going to wait for that to render. It's going to take a couple seconds here. Now there's two ways I like to use this filter. And the first way, double check my file size here. I think we're doing okay so far. The first way I like to use this filter is as is. Just leave it the way it is, and just reduce the opacity. So here's the original, and then here's with a little bit of the filter added, leaving just a tiny bit of the color still in it. I kind of like the way that it adds contrast. So here's without it, and there's with it. Adds some contrast, especially in the face, skin tones. I like the way it adds contrast in the background. Pretty cool. And definitely in the dress. The other way I like to use this filter, I'm going to turn it all the way up now, and I'm going to go down to Luminosity. And what that will do is it's going to keep the original color. So it won't take out the black and white color, but it will add the contrast that I had created in the Silver Effx plugin. So here's without it, and there's with it. Stark difference. And again, you can reduce the opacity to taste. So I think I'm going to use it in this manner, just like that. And I think with adding this contrast, I think whenever you add contrast, when you use a curves adjustment or a layer adjustment, it adds a bit of saturation. So I'm going to come down here to the adjustment layers and go to hue and saturation, especially in the reds, and I'm going to pull the saturation back in the reds just a little bit. So here's the before and after with that, just a little less orangey, Sorry, you probably can't see that window. This is the window that came up when I chose that. I'm working with 2 monitors, so I'm trying to bring everything over here so you can see how I'm working it. But there is before and after. And then here's before the process completely and after.